are able to read people's minds. Having the ability to read someone's mind with a thought machine has come a step closer after scientists showed that they could guess a person's memory simply by looking at the electrical activity of their brain. Scientists have found that spatial memories can be read by a brain scanner, so it's possible to predict automatically when someone imagines themselves to be, the exact location in the maze, for instance, and that's without actually asking the person. It's a small step towards the idea of mind reading, because just by looking at the neuron activity, they're able to say what someone is thinking. That's from Demis Hassabis of University College in London. It may one day be possible to do the same with other types of memories and thoughts, although the possibility of using a mind-reading machine to solve crimes or to fight terrorism is still a distant prospect. It's at least 10 years, probably more, from getting anywhere near that kind of technology, where you can literally read someone's thoughts in a single short session when they don't want you to. But he goes on to say we might be about 10 years away from doing that, so it might be useful to start having those ethical discussions in the near future in preparation for that. But they're still a long way from doing anything practical. The study was led by Professor Eleanor Maguire, who had already shown that a small area of the brain behind a region called the hippocampus was enlarged in male taxi drivers who had done the knowledge, which is memorizing the maze of London streets. Professor Maguire trained a different set of male volunteers to navigate themselves through a virtual maze on a computer, while their brains were being scanned by a functional MRI machine. We know that the hippocampus underpins our ability to navigate, to form and recollect memories, and how to imagine the future. But how the activity across millions of hippocampal neurons supports the functions is a fundamental question in neuroscience. The scientists found that certain nerve cells in the brain, called place cells, can be stimulated in definite patterns of activity that the researchers could analyze to guess where in the maze each man imagined himself to be. Remarkably, using this technique, they found that they could accurately predict the position of an individual within the virtual environment solely on the pattern of activity within their brain. In contrast, previous research on animals suggested that there were no particular patterns of activity within nerve cells that could be used to predict spatial memory. Our technique, which looks at the picture over many thousands of neurons, shows that this cannot be the whole story. If we're able to predict spatial memories from brain activity, this means there must be a structure on how it is coded in the neurons. That's from Professor Maguire. The study, published in the journal Current Biology and funded by the Wellcome Trust, the world's biggest medical research charity, could help scientists to understand the fundamental memory problems behind some neurological diseases. Understanding how we humans record our memories is critical to helping us learn how information is processed and how our memories are eroded by diseases such as Alzheimer's. This is interesting to me. This comes from Scotland. A group of experts are meeting in Edinburgh to discuss the existence of ghosts. Their focus on apparitions caught on camera or video. Amongst the topics of discussion will be a castle in North Berwick, which has recently attracted interest after a photograph taken in May last year appears to show a man or a woman peering out of a window. The image of the figure in period costume spooked experts into conducting the biggest ever investigation into supernatural beings. No mannequins or costume guides are employed at the castle, and 3 photographic experts have confirmed that no digital manipulation was carried out on the photo. But skeptical Professor Richard Wiseman, who led the study, admitted to being puzzled. He said, "It certainly is very curious. We ran it by 3 photographic experts, and they all said it hadn't been photoshopped at all. The figure appears to be in period costume, but we know 100% that the castle is not the sort of place that has dummies or costume guides. They just don't do that sort of thing. I suppose it could be a visitor looking a little bit strange. Perhaps someone will come forward. Another possibility is an odd reflection of sunlight, but it does look very much like a person. The explanation is not obvious." Tintagel Castle, a ruined fortress dating back to the 14th century, stands in a remote rocky headland near North Berwick. It was badly damaged in an attack by Oliver Cromwell's forces in 1651. Christopher Atchison, who took the photo, said, "I was not aware of anyone or anything being present in my picture, only noticing the anomaly when I got home. Staff have verified that there are no sinister dummies in period costume or historical reenactments that were going on that day at the castle. I did not notice any nice old ladies wearing ruffs walking around the stairs. Some people have suggested it's lights, and one person said it may be King James V of Scotland." Meanwhile, Grace Lamb, an enthusiast of the supernatural, has come forward with another photograph she took there in 1976. And here's a little audio on that.
Is this a ghostly apparition caught on camera or something less fanciful? The photo was taken by Grace Lamb on a visit to Tintagel Castle in 1976. Paul and Kelly and late husband Hugh.
I thought, seemed to be a face or something there, you know, and I used to ask my visitors and that, and they saw something too.
And you didn't see anybody there at the time?
No, not so, no. Nobody. And me facing it, you know, I would have seen something up there, but no, didn't see anybody.
Recent worldwide publicity of a picture also taken at Tantallon, which appears to show a figure looking out of the window immediately above the one where the object in her photo can be seen. The whole question of the science of ghosts is being discussed by experts in Edinburgh this weekend, but not everyone is convinced.
You can clearly see that it's just simply a woman walking down the stairs. She has a pink jacket, she has a carrier bag in her right hand, shoulder.
Historic Scotland, which looks after Tantallon Castle, says there's no history of ghosts here, but that these two photographs are intriguing. So if you are planning a visit here anytime soon, STV News, East Lothian.
Historic Scotland, which looks after the castle, said there is no history of ghosts there, but agrees the two images are intriguing. This is cool. U.S. documentarians in search of Lake Van Monster in Turkey. A group of American filmmakers have arrived in the eastern province of